What's up, guys? Sunday it is, and we're going to start off with a little bit of a Q&A. And today is definitely the day when I'm going to be making the video for, and I've been slacking a bit on that, on the long proposal. Okay, so first start off with some Q&A, and then I'll do the long video. All right, let's see. Local client takeover makes some video. Shib, have you read the one thing? All right, let's check this guy out. What video is this about? Oh, wow, I can see comments here. Wait, which video is this? Comments, goals for 2019. Have I read The One Thing? Yes, I have. But that book was really good, and I actually been recommended for it again recently by a couple of people. And I should read it again. You know, books are one of those things where half the equation is the contents of the book, and half the equation is the person you are, right? When I read that book, it was I think like after 2 years, I came to America, right? Like 2013, 14. I went through a spree of um, reading close to like over, like 70, 80 books in like 2 to 3 years. And I never read before that. Like I never read in high school, not a single book fully, right? Pages here and there, but that was my first time reading, and one of the books that I read was that time, but it should be on my list again to read again. Now, I think you're trying to mean goals for 2019 as maybe trying to say that I should have like lower amount of goals or maybe one main goal. Um, if that's the case, I'm assuming this. I would say if you look at my video, like I've been doing this board goals thing since 2015. And in 2015, that's when I really didn't know how to apply this kind of idea, right? I had literally like 10 goals and they were all completely different. Like I wanted to learn to break dance. I want to learn to do a backflip. I want to learn to like all these kind of like weird things with a few like, things that still exist today, which was like some gym goals and stuff like that. Now goals are more along the same line, right? They're more interconnected than it may seem, right? Like even if I go to the gym, it's like optimized for me to even perform better and making decisions for the business, SEO. Like it affects everything else, right? The gym is necessity for me to feel good and get that like kind of light feeling and that runner's high and kind of like get that exertion out, but it's all like optimized now. Like I think about this quite a bit, and everything I do now, it's kind of like a package, right? It comes in like shifts. I actually think about it like how as choosing the goals, how they would fit into it in my day on a day by day combination you could think of. You can understand what I'm talking about in that way. Like you think of your day as like a combination series of actions that you execute through, and certain actions work well together if done in blocks of its own, right? Like morning, afternoon, evening, and stuff like that. So, anyways, that's my little assumption and my answer to that assumption. I'm not gonna write anything now. I might go back and answer some of the stuff. Have you considered outsourcing your SEO to a partner that has the reporting dashboard and monthly performance reviews built in for you? White label as well. Not sure what your total cost is to deliver, but if you charge 1,500, 2,500, you could afford to spend 400 to 500 to outsource it. Very doable with the USA based team as well. I have considered it slightly in the past. I came across some people who are very, like they have top-notch, systems in the space. But what I've seen is for people who are really in the space and they're truly like, testing as we go on an ongoing basis, they are really on top of their craft. They usually tend to have bigger plans in the space. Like they tend to be trying to scale out their own thing or whatever. Their sole purpose for doing the white label is not to be the best white label service at that price point. Let's put it like that, right? And that's what we are kind of looking for. Okay, at least to work with a company that is doing the due diligence, testing, building, refining their systems and stuff like that. Already has it to a good point, but then they're also like on top of it in a manner where it would make sense for my clients who would pay 2,000, 3,000 potentially $5,000, whatever, like high paying clients, right? Like shit just needs to be done and done right at a reasonable time, right? And I couldn't find that pretty easily, right? It's not that I looked a lot. I just kind of dabbled in it as soon as I came across those kind of guys. And when I quickly realized that it's not going to be a good fit, I kind of moved away. And then since I did that, I've kind of taken the role of like I kind of just like accepted the journey of um, being in the shit in the manner where I can become a person who services with that kind of elite level service. And I would say I'm doing well in that in that path so far. Right in the beginning, I wasn't. I would say I'm a much better on a scale like on the SEO side versus like how good I am at selling and stuff. I'm still much better at the SEO side, right? If I was to compare the two, but you know that might be my opinion. If you're hardcore at SEO and you're like completely nerdy, you might think like, no, you must be kidding. Like, you're probably better at sales. And if you do salesmen, if you compare to me like real salesmen, like who, like they sell for a living and they're real salesmen, I'm kind of like a joke. Like, I do a lot of things wrong. I still am trying to master some basic principles. So all schemes, all ideas put together, I would say I'm doing well in the idea of finally like putting the systems together that I need. Even like the foundation is pretty much done, right? Even for the other stuff where my VAs are gonna get to a point where they can understand like even basic SEO to send out links and everything, and from everything from PBN management is kind of in the works and everything. So I think soon I'm gonna be at a point where I can be truly hands off. And yeah, so I mean, I'm not really looking into it at the moment, but yeah, that would be my thing on that. Looks like today might be a long video because I'm kind of elaborating more than normally do. Okay, let's see, man. Able. Cool, man. Excited to see these goals. I have some pretty huge goals too this year. Let's make it happen. By the way, I recommend quarterly goals. They work much better than annual goals. So take your annual goals and break them down into quarterly goals. So for example, 100K a month, your first quarter goal might be 10 new clients, no matter what, in 90 days. And hold yourself accountable to short, feasible goals. Very good point. I agree. 90 days is much more feasible, especially in this space and most spaces. Sometimes it takes time to gear things up. And I think I commented on this question before. But like for example, 10 days away from February, I'm gonna start selling. I'm probably not gonna get on the pace in right on February, right? If you do the math, I have to get like a client a week. Like I did the math a couple days ago, and I have to get a client a week every week of the year. Meaning like literally, if you do the math, let me take out my calculator. It's 100K per month, okay, divided by okay, so minus what, like 30K, right? Like right above 30K. So let's say it's 30K, it's like 30K 200 or something right now I make, right? So it's like 70K per month increase in income, and I start February. So I have 10 months divided by 10, right? So that's 7K, increase my income by 7K every month, right? That's the average. That has to be average. So let's say my average client that I bring on is around $2,000, right? Like divided by 2,000. Fuck the whole thing up, Shiba. Okay, 7,000 divided by, Jesus Christ, we'll never get there. No, I can't do math, guys. I'm not gonna do it on my head. I don't want to think. It's Sunday anyways. 3.5. So a client a week. A client a week, pretty much. If the average is under 2,000, it's gonna be a problem. If I sell it at 3K, it'll make things a lot easier. But I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get everybody at 3K, 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 right? I'm gonna get some people who are in smaller cities at 2K and stuff like that. So that's the math. So it's pretty aggressive, man. It means that I have to get a client every week. If I miss 1 week, then this math doesn't work, right? Like even if in 1 month I get like even 3 clients or 2 clients, that's pretty good, right? Not bad, but I won't hit 100K a month. So the goal is really up there. I didn't hold back at all this year. It's just like I said before, sometimes before when I set a goal, I felt like I could do more. Like when I said 30K, I felt that it's possible. Actually, to be honest, when I said 30K, I didn't just have any idea if it's hittable or not. But halfway through, I knew that it's really possible if I just change things up, and it did work out. But 100K, what I mean is certain things it will probably have to happen that I don't know right now. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like the systems I know, the way I know how to sell now, if I grind at it very hard and I keep the momentum on throughout for most of the year, I can hit this. But it'll be a lot easier if I can have bursts, and then while I refine, and then possibly in one of those moments where I refine things, I can have like, other things come and play that will make me do that, at least that traction phase, like help me out in that traction phase, right? While I'm calling, maybe something else is also going on that can help me out, right? But my main thing is still going to be calling, because that's what I have, solid down. And to talk a little bit about the refining phase, this is from last year. You guys know that how it works. It's not going to be 4 clients in February, right? As I'm picking it up, I don't know, maybe I'll try to get, at least a client on February. I'm just getting back into it. I want to, it takes about a month to get into that zone where you have things in the air, right? Like 3-4 proposals in the air that they didn't answer to. They're like delaying a bit. Some people are just getting, like looking into the stuff, and they're getting, sending you some stuff here and there, and you're replying to them before they come on board. And some people need to follow up and stuff like that. All that stuff is going on. And when you have all those pieces in the puzzle flying around and you're juggling with them, that's when like clients start, kind of like nailing in, right? Predictively, right? And that takes about a month, I would say, at least, to get to that zone. So February already, I know I'm not gonna kind of hit those numbers. And once you're in that zone, okay, and let's say I'm in that zone for that example, 90 days, I think is a pretty much solid number, right? Like February, March, April, May, until like May, June, that area. Let's say I go till. By that time, let's say I try to get like 10 clients, okay? And then it'll be a time for at least a couple of weeks to a month where I could kind of slow down on the calling and really refine the people that I onboarded, right? Like 10 people comes on, although the systems are great and stuff, I know I'm going to have to step in and kind of like, be with certain stuff, and some people are not going to, go in perfectly smoothly. There's always curveballs and shit, even though if they're in the same industry, it's just the way it is, right? And that's when I refine things. So yeah, man. To come back to the thing, yes, I think your mindset in 90-day spurts is a more powerful place to come from. And yeah, so let's see. Hold you accountable. It's better than annual goals, okay? But it's a lot better than monthly goals since it gives you enough time to get shit accomplished. Yeah, you can focus 100% in a short 90 to push there. Because if you aren't hitting your goals quarterly, they are a good benchmark of how far behind or how far advanced you are. Kind of like the P90X. Yeah, it's true. These kind of programs, they are they know what they're doing. There's a reason they put it that kind of time frame, because they have a lot of studies to back that shit up. Check out the book 5 a.m. Miracle. I haven't read that, so I'll put it on my list. I'm just getting back into reading. Again, I haven't read anything for a long time. I mean, I do read, but like blogs on the internet, but I haven't read like book for a long time. The most recent book I got, where is it? It's called How to Break Up with Your Phone, right? So I know it's kind of like ironic, us being marketers, but I'm pretty not too much into social media already as a person, and I'm trying to like disconnect even more, right? I want to get to a point where I'm not checking this shit like pretty much at all, right? Nowadays, even if I go to the bathroom, at least I spend some time there. My Instagram, I think, let's see, let me check it now. I have been checking it more than usual, but activity daily average is like 9 minutes, right? So it's okay. I want to get it to like maybe like under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes at most. 2-3 minutes a day is enough for that shit. Like a few scrolls, a few laughs and giggles, and that's it. Like there's nothing else. I don't want to be looking at the other person too much. I already have blockers on Facebook. And yeah, why am I even getting in this? Yeah, man, I didn't read this book. But that is one of my goals. All right, I've noticed that your overreaching for a goal is better than based on 10x principle. So if your goal is 100K a month, multiplied by that 10. That's true, but if you're being realistic and you have done it before, you're not going to be able to hit 10x, right? Like me being realistic, let's say I have to call 4 hours a day, right? I can't plan to call 40 hours a day, right? But that is a good mindset, especially in the beginning, because whatever you need to do, just like crank it up because it's more than likely that's not enough. So you can go at it full. But once you are in the thing and you're getting some results, you know what input brings out what kind of output. And there's certain type of inputs that you can't just make. It might be actually assigned at the current way, right? Like there's only so much you can call. It just works very effectively and in a very precise way. So I use it. But it's probably a sign that eventually, sooner or later, maybe after this year or whatever, I'll get into a system where the attraction phase of the sales phase is also a lot more automated, right? Not in my worries right now, honestly, guys. I think of this stuff quite a bit, and like if I can get the fulfillment completely automated, that would be fucking the shit. I would be so happy if I can do that, because I love the idea to be able to be like, all right, in the business, when I work hard, we're growing, right? Kind of already almost there in a way, if you think about it, right? Like when I work hard, it's not to maintain my income, right? Like whatever money I'm making now, I really barely, I don't have to work much right now, like to keep this income coming. But when I want to increase this income, like from February, you have to work like ape shit, right? 50, 60 hours a week. And that's okay because you're trying to reach like a lot of money. But if you think about it, like just to get half of it automated, let's say it's very manual and the sales is very hands-on and everything like that, right? And while I'm growing, it's like that. Okay. But the fulfillment, if it's like very close or, it's pretty much systematized and automated, your team can handle it all. That means then when you want to grow your income, you have to get in there. And when you want to just maintain and the money you've been making at the point you reached, you could just coast and you don't have to work that hard. That is phenomenal. And I would, that would be my first goal. Once that is pristine, clients are being onboarded, getting results, getting what they're supposed to, with like a 80% accuracy, I would say, meaning 8 out of 10 clients is like happy and they're complete, like perfect. I can't nitpick anything that my team could have done better and stuff like that. Then I could think about really the sales side more, at least have it in my mind right now. Okay. Anyways, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you too, man. Mark M. Hey, I believe in the secret of manifestation. I'm going to start doing this so I can kind of like even more. Wait, let me read the question first. I believe in the secret of manifestation. I say it's a I believe in the secret of manifestation. I thought this was a book. In the secret of manifestation. Okay, I say it's a secret because most people don't realize how it works. When you physically write something down with your hand on a piece of paper, you'll notice it always comes true. Okay, yeah, man. It's I'm big on writing. Everything I have to do on a day-to-day, like this is micro, is written. Everything that I want to get done on a week-to-week is also written. My reflection about myself and kind of like personal of who I'm kind of becoming based on the things that I'm juggling with, business, exercise, or meditation and things like that. That kind of journal is also written. The goals that I have for the year is on the board. It's also written. So I believe in pen and paper, and I think one of my favorite ways to think about it is that writing something down is the fastest way to bring it into matter, right? When you have a thought, it's non-matter, or at least it's questionable. It has no actual weight in the elemental chart, right? It's just somewhere out there in the abyss. It's in our mind. When you write it down, at least it's a fast way to get it to weight, right? It has some weight in there. The ink bleeds on the paper. It has a weight. It's very light, but it has weight compared to digital. Digital, again, I'm not sure if it has weight. Your computer doesn't increase in weight and how much you type. So it's the fastest way to get something into existence. Great list. I would add a certain number to put in your 401k for tax savings. Man, I have no clue how this shit works. Finances, I have no clue. I realize that this kind of taxes and stuff, I don't understand this shit completely. Like I have no like till now. I ended up getting a normal accountant locally because I just went with gut feeling, right? I couldn't find somebody who would please me logically. Like they were two different ideas. I talked to different lawyers, and one of them was very corporate. I made a video about it, and they were all saying different stuff. They contradicted each other and everything, and I was just like, fuck. Let me just go with this local guy. He sounds at least genuine. He owns his business. I talked to him for a while, and he sounds like a genuine guy who cares about his clients and all that, compared to being like a service where they have like fast-paced sales techniques put in place and everything like that, which doesn't really come off that well when you're trying to think of your finances. So that's what 1-800 did. So didn't really stay with them. I canceled them. How many clients do you have? Like 23, man. I think I answered that right. 23. Can't wait for your next videos. Been checking your channel every day. Yeah, my bad, man. Pretty lazy nowadays. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I need to pack out the PlayStation. That's for sure. Like this week, we're packing out the PlayStation, putting it packing it up in the box. Not gonna have that outside. Other than that, I've just been watching, I don't know, just been. I just watched a 3-hour document. I think that was the best documentary I watched in this entire year. I think it is the best documentary in the decade. So go watch it. It's this right here. Wait, let me open a new tab. What is it called? Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. This first one right here. Watch that shit. It's worth it every second. It's fucking amazing, man. I've been a fan of Elon Musk since like 2013, even before like anybody was talking about him. I came across him from a TED Talk. That time he was talking about, I think just Tesla and solar, his solar thing. And then I read his book early on, and I was like blown away by him. And ever since then, he's been pretty much like one of my favorite people in the world. So that might be a little bit biased, but go watch that shit. Let's see. Where was I? I thought I saved it. Jesus, where was it? This is called dynamic meditation. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. Learn a skill. Learn to clean your room, Chief. Yeah, man. I did. My rooms are a lot more cleaner now. Well, a little untidy, but they're a lot more cleaner now. I mean, actually, I didn't learn to clean. I just got a better room. So, great video. Thanks for sharing. One question. Do you share your whole proposal and lead with maps, or do you share just maps and then upset after you start getting results? Thanks again. Upsell, I think you're trying to say. Right. Scott. I just realized that's you. Let me see. Wait, I forgot. Okay. Great video. Thanks for sharing. One question. Do you share the whole proposal and then lead with it maps? Share the whole proposal and then like when I'm actually selling them? Well, my core product is maps, and then I don't really have a proper upsell at the moment, right? I'm trying. It's just basically like a one package, like take it all or leave it kind of thing. According to the city, it's gonna be 2K or 3K, and it's the whole package, and that's it. That's the main thing. And then I don't have an upsell yet. Like I don't have like a way yet. If I get clients from before who were maybe doing still the same thing, same package, but at a lower rate. Like I'm thinking some of the people who are under 1,000, I want to like recheck with them soon to see where they're at and maybe show them a bit more of the value once again, like what we can do for them, and then go on from there. But everything that I showed from last video is pretty much in the same package. Haman, I know my question is not subject related, but I'm trying to find your video about home investor where you explain the hack to get to the lead prices. Can you please text me a link? Yeah, I'll get you to that. Let me see if I have it right now. I'll text it to you right now. Home Advisor Pro. Here. I think a bunch of you people asked that. I think this is it. Let me open this. It's cool that they put it here now. What's going on with my internet, man? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, let me pause this and all right, there you go, man. I need to talk to Optimum. They said this internet is gonna be 3 times faster. I don't feel like it's 3 times. I feel like it's either the same or maybe even a little slower than before. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the same work required for ranking organic and maps? So on page, citations, press releases, social signals, web 2.0s, PBNs. Let's see what he's saying. What does optimize GMB? I know how to rank for organic, just not sure about maps. Is there a course or will YouTube be enough? No, YouTube's not enough, man. there's there's no, like, obviously no end in a way if you really think about it, right? There's, even if you take all the courses out there, you're going to be really good off and being able to do what you need to do. But technically, I mean, if you do all the courses, you'll realize that things are, Google is Google. There's no finite way to think about it. Not the course creators don't know everything. Not every course creator knows what others do. But yeah, I mean, that's I don't know what your question was. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the same work required to rank in organic math? Oh yeah, okay. No, it's not. No, definitely not. At least not in the, I mean, they're not separate from each other. What you do in organic will help the maps. What you do in the maps help the organic, but what you do in the maps is actually more maps based. What you do in the organic is usually more holistic based, right? From if I had to put a word to it. But yeah, no, I'll go for the courses, man. Go for all the I don't even have to say a name. You could just go for what's out there in the space, right? Like in the community, we know all the big guys, Lion Zeal, local client takeover, semantic mastery, depending on, like, what you go. There's a bunch of other courses surrounding them. You could just, what I would say for SEO, like if I had to like give you guys an idea, is basically pick, like if you're a beginner, go for one type of idea, like like almost like a cult. You'll see that different teachers of different courses have like different kind of ideas about how to do this entire thing, right? I would say follow one to the fullest, meaning that you're going to be the guy who implements everything, asks questions, becomes active in their webinars. You are the ones who are present and you're asking all the questions, stuff like that. This is a way you build a personal relationship with the course creators and the teachers. And within some time, they once you get, they share with you more information that they just put on the course, right? So you do get some little nuggets here and there that you normally wouldn't. And then not to mention, you get a lot of personal time in those webinars, right? That most people don't take advantage of. And that's a good way to really, speed up the process in learning. And then once you are really good and you're doing everything that one framework of thinking is doing, then you could go in the complete other direction and do the same thing with another complete different company, and that's when you start growing, I would say, if that makes sense, right? Like one idea, let's say they don't believe in like PBNs or like like links too much or something like that. I'm not talking about everybody I follow believe in links. Nobody's like fucking Chase Rayner, but let's say they're not too much into PBNs and stuff like that, right? Like, and they're more about like overall how things are taken over maps and kind of like how they're related in an interconnected way, and then you go with that and you kind of like do everything they're saying and you're killing it. Now, if you go like something opposite, like very into PBNs, let's say for example like a big course like OMG, right? Like very PBN based ranking system and stuff like that, and it definitely fucking works, right? Like it's super powerful stuff. But they're not doing any of the stuff a lot of times these guys are here doing, and you learn a shit ton from there, right? And a lot of times you could test just by doing their stuff on some other sites that you didn't do any of this stuff, and you'll see, wow, this is super powerful. So then when you take the nuggets from and you blend them together from a couple of these kind of communities, and you're kind of like like a well-known action taker in let's say several of this, you then start to really come to a place where you're putting together a product and systems around a deliverable, a service that's geared towards one industry. If you choose, let's say in the home service, you will get to a point eventually where you crush it, right? That's a lot of knowledge that you're putting together, packaging it effectively, putting a team behind it to execute on that after taking cumulative information, a bunch of people, and then targeting one industry and then trying to be an authority. It's a pretty good formula. I just want it to what? Why can I not read today? Maybe because I ate like half a block of cream cheese. Fuck, I'm like blurry. I just want to ask about the contract part. What do you mean when you say your agreement is based on performance? Do they only pay when they start seeing some results? If that's the case, wait, yeah, if that's the case, how are you going to pay for the expenses that, no, man, they're not, um man or woman, Abdella, not sure. No, that's not what that means. Performance based means that we don't bind them to a 1 year contract or 6 month contract or anything. It's basically month to month, right? I have an agreement with them, like a verbal agreement that, to see great results, it's going to take 6 months before you start seeing good results. And that's basically the idea I go by. But I don't bind them to a month to month, so you could call it as if it's performance, right? Because anytime they want to cancel, they can cancel it if it's not performing the way they would like it to do, and that's what that means. All right. Okay, 2 comments. Man, use Payoneer for payments. It's free. It's something I think about like every month, at least like once or 2 times. PayPal probably wasn't the right way to go about it. I'm not sure, but then again, it's probably too late to change. Not too late to change, but like, one, I like the interface in PayPal, right? I can call them and everything. I'm sure Pioneer probably has good support as well, but PayPal is widely known. That's another thing. When I tell them like, yeah, we just send you a link of PayPal. You can use, choose to use credit card or whatever. It sounds very like, maybe I'm just thinking it, but it does sound very nonchalant. It sounds very, I guess for lack of better words, professional. Compared to if I'm saying like, yeah, we use this thing called Payoneer, or we use this, but Payoneer is a branch of PayPal, right? Don't quote me on that. Or one of them is Zoom or something, right? If you use something that's by PayPal, I think that'll be a little easier. But I don't know what you mean by it's free. I don't think it's free, man. I don't know how it can be free. I think I checked it out and they make the clients pay for it, right? So they would be paying like 3% on top of it. So they'll just tag that along. So when you tell them the price, you just have to say, oh yeah, it's $3,000 per month plus payment fee. I don't know if that kind of adds or takes away from it. I don't think I'm going to change it. Pretty good with PayPal right now. It does suck because they too take a lot of fees. They're taking right around $1,000 a month from me right now, and given I hit my goals and everything, they're going to be taking $3,000 a month to receive money, which is a lot of money. And so yeah, let's see. I might regret this later, but it's not on my agenda at this very moment. Your videos are kick-ass, man. Thanks. I'm starting my cold calls and videos today. Hell yeah. That's what I want to hear. Instead of Facebook ads, why not upsell on organic rankings? It's as simple as adding more content and building. What the hell just happened? Okay. Building. I couldn't see the last of that part, but I do organic. When I say that we're not going to rank you in organic, or I don't mention #1 in organic, I mean I'm not making them hold me to something that doesn't per se bring that much results, right? Like for a roofing client, I'm not going to tell them like, all right, we're going to get you over time #1 position organically for your main term. I know that even even if I'm doing well in that, let's say I'm in the first page and let's say in the top half of the results, it won't make nearly the results that it would bring if they are in the maps with the most reviews, right? So we do organic. We're using, like we're linking out everything. It's just that I'm not putting my attention there as much, right? I'm putting my attention on the maps and getting them visibility to bring more calls in through the maps, right? So that's what I mean. I think I should have explained it a little bit better because I understand where you could easily misunderstand that. We definitely do see almost every client increase rankings and organically, right? Unless they're already ranking very well organically. Some of the clients, are like that. Like we got a good amount of clients that when they came, they were like in the first page for their main term. They just wanted to get in the maps, and that's fine for them. They don't increase much. Maybe they'll increase, a couple positions or something like that. But we see they go up in organic. It's just that if they're in the maps and they're killing it, and their organic is in the bottom of page 1, I'm not losing sleep over, oh shit, they better get in page 1. I'm like, all right, I'm satisfied. Make sure they understand that they should be satisfied because they're getting leads. Good job, man. I don't know which video that was, but thank you. Dope. Reviews, commented. Thank you for everything, bro. You're welcome, man. Please make a video that goes into detail about Thumbtack. Thumbtack? Using Thumbtack as an SEO? Or you can comment on that if you watch this entire video until 35 minutes. Then I might get back on that. But I don't know what you're asking about, man. I used to use Thumbtack in the beginning stages, like early last year a bit here and there. I think I tested Thumbtack, got a couple leads. It wasn't bad. You could actually find out what company is requesting the quote from the logo, right? I don't know if you can still do that. Let me check it out. 1 second. That'd be cool to tell you guys. I don't know if I ever put that on a video. Thumbtack. No, I deleted it. You guys might want to check this out. I did get some leads of Thumbtack pretty easily using that. Go sign up on Thumbtack for a free account with marketing, web design, stuff like that. And then when people request a quote, a lot of times you don't have to even pay for it. You can just see their thing at the top, right? I mean, they did change some stuff in their system where you don't pay until they respond or something, but you don't have to do any of that. You could just see their logo, which is the company that is requesting the website quote or the SEO quote. And a lot of times, not every time, like 2 out of 10 or something, they'll have their logo there, and you could see their company and search them and find them and contact them because they're on Thumbtack right now, looking for SEO. Thanks, man. Thank you for your videos. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's see. The dream job. By the way, a lot of people have dual like picture-in-picture astral projection. You had a first real AP, just not a good kind. Yeah, I kind of thought so, actually. I think this is how you spell his name. I'll check this out later. I don't know what that is. Abel, can't wait for your next videos. Been checking your channel every day. Thanks, man. I don't know why this came again. I think I did something with the comments. Hi, I'm 13, and I know what I'm doing here. What is this about? This is funny, I think. Oh, shit. It actually took me to the... I lost my... Where's the fucking comments, guys? I want to read this. What is this about? Some kid is probably pissed. What? Oh, okay. I'm only 12. What am I doing here? Learning how to drink. Okay, I'm 13 and I know what I'm doing here. All right. Hopefully you're here to make some money. Man, 13-year-olds getting into like entrepreneurship. This is good shit. It's a good thing for humanity. Hindi tattoo or more of a Ranveer Singh. I think we're getting into older videos now. What are your thoughts on outsourcing the cold calling for appointment setups? Thoughts on outsourcing the cold calling for appointment setups. Beautiful. If you can get someone to do that, that would be fucking brilliant. Test it out. Try to see if you can get someone who can call and set appointments for you. That would be sick. Because I tried, some time ago my business partner had helped me, helped us put together some people to do that. They didn't stick around. I've thought about it, considered it, offshoring it people, but I don't think people from India is going to be good at cold calling. People from Philippines, I don't know. I never tried it. Their accent is not as, heavy as people from India, I guess. So it might be a new curve to that calling, but you probably need somebody who's pretty damn good. And I don't know. Usually people from, Philippines, they tend to all be like SEOs, meaning like not like they're not SEOs, but they're all kind of like, kind of behind the computer sort of as a culture. I feel like, I mean, Asia generally is kind of like laid back. Sales is not like the forte, as much. I mean, generally speaking, salespeople in America, I think is pretty like one of the best I've seen. Like, overall, like if people from America was to compete against like a good competitive team, room full of salespeople was to compete against People in my countries trying to sell something door to door or something like that. These kind of people would demolish them. They. But then again, I never tried to do business in my country or anything like that. So I'm just talking, just based on what I know. But try this out. If you can get this to work, that would be very powerful. Would love to see how you do it. Can I open this in a new tab? Let's see. Hey, what's up, guys? Video that talks about step-by-step process of cold emails. I don't know what that was, man. Thanks for sharing. Lots of tips. Thank you, man. All right, so we're pretty much in the beginning of January. Would you recommend saying I spoke earlier in the season if you have never talked to them before? Yeah, definitely. It's probably going to be the last comment I'll answer. He's asking about in the cold calling script, would you say, hey, we spoke early in the season? Yeah, like literally 1 out of 100 people might like even touch on, oh, we didn't speak. They forget whatever's going on in their, around them completely. They talk to people every day. You have to realize, like, they're not like us. Like, we get a prospect, we know him forever. Like, that guy almost fucking bought. Like, it's not like that for roofing. They're talking, they do couple jobs a day. They get calls, like generally 5 to 6 calls a day from inbound, right? They're talking to people all day. They're getting constantly hammered by marketers all fucking day, right? So they can't remember that shit, right? You're pretty much brand new to them whenever you talk to them. Even if you had like a lengthy thing you did with them, like this is, even if you pitch somebody they didn't buy for a while, let's say, after like 3 months, you could start to consider them as like a new prospect again. Their business changed and everything to a point where if they couldn't buy before, they might buy now, right? This is all like, this is a fast-paced thing still. I mean, they will remember you if they came to a screen share or whatever, or you called them and had a 1-hour pitch with them, they'll remember you. But the point is, the flow of speed, the rate at things change is really quick, right, for them. And you don't have to be afraid of saying that, because that's completely fine. All right, guys, so I'll leave it at that. My bad that these always go, really long. But if you realize this is kind of like the fun part for me, for answering the questions right here, because I do get to just think out loud, and a lot of the stuff is obviously stuff I'm already thinking about. So it's nice to Q&A is probably my favorite video to make. But right now I will stop this and make the video of exactly how to do the long form proposal. So see you in there.